Good evening, folks. It is Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you know that means it's time for your Big Gold Belt Wrestling podcast. We have a big question to address tonight. Almost a last call, if you will, that we are going to address tonight. And the question is as simple as this. Who should be John Cena's final opponent? We are going to get into that to kick things off tonight because it's happening here in DC in all of about 2 months. It's official now, so we know it's coming. So we might as well get the big question out of the way. Who should be John Cena's final opponent? We will get into that here tonight. Also, NXT No Mercy went down this past weekend, and we are headed for an NXT and TNA Showdown next Tuesday night. So we got a lot of stuff to look up that's happening there, going on in NXT. And last but not least, last night, AEW 6th anniversary with some faces returning to the company. Yes, we will get into that too and more. Get ready, folks. Your Big Gold Belt Wrestling podcast starts right now.
Big Gold Belt, Big Gold Belt, Big Gold Belt, Big Gold Belt, Big Gold Belt. All I really want is that Big Gold Belt, 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 Big Gold Belt. All I really need that Big Gold Belt.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being with us here tonight on the Big Gold Belt Wrestling Podcast. It's looking like Season 5, Episode 35 may or may not be, but that's the count we are going with tonight as we head towards the end of the year. Maybe we'll come up with some other numbering convention in the 2026. But for now, Season 5, Episode 35. I am Will in the top right of your screen. Below me is Damian G down in the Lone Star State. Across from him is the Giant Crab Jamal. And last but not least, on the upper left is our editor-in-chief, Najir 2 Chains. How are all you guys doing this week?
What up?
Exquisite.
Good.
Y'all, you want to know something funny? Per our IMDb page, we have 11 years and 626 episodes.
Okay.
Good Lord.
We know we had known we had crossed 500 because we did that
Yeah.
500th episode, and after that we kind of switched up the number. 620. I see you're just dropping something on me here. I didn't know there was an IMDb page, so that's news to me. Professional. Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, oh, my bad. Now I gotta get some people's names attached to it next, right? Get your IMDb credit.
Right. There we go. Got to make this official if we're being up to those 600s on these numbers here.
Yeah,
all right, folks. Well, we're gonna have an interesting show tonight. We got some different stuff to talk about. Oh wait, who's up in the comments already? Oh, Cupcake is back this
Of course.
week. Good to see Cupcake here. It has been a little bit, so good to see you as we got the crew here together tonight. So let's get right to it. Yeah. Let's get right to the big topic because we know now it's coming in December. It's going to be here in DC for us local folks, which is very tricky because these tickets are going to be expensive as anything, as we well know. But it is a happening. John Cena's final match on Saturday night's main event is going down in December 13th, if I remember correctly. And we touched on this last week, but now we're going to really get into the deep dive here as our main topic tonight. We got most of the crew here tonight, and it's just as simple. Who is John Cena's final opponent at Saturday night's main event? I think also another part of this we got to get into is what do you do for John Cena's final night in the company? Is kind of bigger.
Hold on, Will. Let me throw something to you for really quickly. I consider you to be our wrestling historian. So the news came out on the 30th from WWE, and in our group chat, everybody said, "Did you see the message, the email?" Everybody got the email, right? So I'm wondering, I want to know for you specifically, when you saw John Cena final match, the headline Saturday night main event, December 13th at Capital One Arena, Washington D.C. What was the first thing you thought?
I'm like, it's kind of odd that it's Saturday night's main event. It's a little odd in that respect, but by that same token, I don't know. We knew it'd be the end of the year. So if they're not going to do it at Survivor Series, when they made this whole plan for it being the end of the year, I mean, if you're not going to do a December pay-per-view, why not do it on Saturday night's main event? I like that it's happening here. I mean, Lord knows if they weren't going to make me to take out a loan, I'm interested in going to it. But damn, like, sell blood or like give up an organ to go to the show with these modern TKO prices. But
yeah, tickets.
I'm definitely curious about this.
Pre-sale on 9. Now, and then the third question to add to your question is, how do they not screw this up? So who should it be? How should they do it? And how do they just flat out not screw it up?
All right. Who wants to get in here first? I'm going to wait on this one.
Go, Damian.
Who I want versus who they probably should pick. I want it to be Gunther. I brought this up last week.
Ooh,
Boss man laughed
agrees.
me off. Laughed me off, boss man. I'm still standing 10 toes down. I think that would be
That name is buzzing around, so
a really good passing of the torch as Gunther, Walter, whatever we want to call him nowadays, has the potential to be that dude with a hard-hitting style, and him squashing Cena. If
what?
can do it, can do it, so can Gunther. And I know they're not going to go it, but it'll be nice to see.
Will you going to spend $11,000
to see him get squashed by Gunther? Like I said,
that's
I know
just for me. That's just for one to get in.
Yeah. So, but who I wish it was, well, who they're gonna pick, I know 2 Chainz already said it last week. I'll let him answer it because I smell it's going in that direction. So, yes, if it's anyone else other than Gunther, Cena has to go over. He's got or it's his choice. Whatever he wants to do, it's his show, dedicated to him. If he wants to put someone over, great. If someone says, you know what, you should go over and maybe retire a title or something, that would also be great. So how do they not mess this up? I guess don't put Gunther. That is a way not to mess it up.
Damien, let me make sure if I hear you clearly. You saying him pick what he want? Are you saying they should form it like an open challenge for his last match?
I think they should let him choose how he wants to go out. Whether or not it's an open challenge is, again, his choice.
I would imagine behind the scene, John Cena's hand is all over how it's going to be done.
He probably was given a list, and now he's just got the pick of the litter, as it were, to say, okay, this is who I want. Process of elimination. Who's going to put butts in seats? So I think announcing it ahead of time, who the person is, could generate a lot of buzz. But I also think if you keep it a secret until the day of, that's going to sell everybody out, and people are going to be donating kidneys and babies to be able to pay for those tickets. So how do they not mess it up? By picking someone that's going to get the Rey Mysterio Circa Royal Rumble treatment, right? Where we're anticipating Daniel Bryan, and we get Rey Mysterio as amazing as he's been, and he gets booed out the building. It'll be very, very interesting to see who he picks, but that's how you don't mess it up.
Let me be quick. First and foremost, I think, again, to go back to last week's conversation, I think Kevin Owens is a great choice here, fan favorite, and there's obviously a story to be told there. The wild card of a pick that I think maybe some people are thinking about, but I don't know if I've seen too many think pieces behind it. But hey, give me Obafemi right now. Let him get called up and let him be the one to send John Cena on his way. And that definitely puts the rocket pack on him, and to the moon he goes. And then if the stars align and we have the worst trade in wrestling history for Andrade for Edge, if Edge gets to do it, obviously we'll be happy. Our generation, Saturday night's main event, the aesthetic makes sense for it. That show is catered to us, the older generation, and I just still think Edge has significant amount of fans for this generation as well. But I mean, his music pop that just goes over right away. They can't believe he's doing it. He's over there. I think that's good. So the way how they don't mess it up, I do not think they need to overthink this. I think they just need to go with the obvious answer and probably keep this one as close to the chest as possible and let it happen. There should probably be 3 people involved: Undertaker, Triple H, and probably Nick Khan, but that's it. No one else knows. Nobody else in the writer's room besides Cena, who can obviously book his match, and somebody that they trust can book the match with him, which is why Obafemi is a little bit dicey, because some big call up there. But Edge, I mean, come on now. They can look at each other and call a whole match.
Let's connect the dots. Yeah.
Yes. And then the last thing about not messing it up, there's been enough sample doses out there in terms of how not to do retirement matches. I mentioned Goldberg. I also think they need to take a look at Ric Flair's last match. And also
which one?
As well, too. So, I'm happy for DC. I don't know if we earned it or not, but damn sure happy that it gets to be here. And I can't wait to see how the city's going to turn up for if they decide to really make it a big deal outside of it just happening inside the arena. I guess, do we care about the Undertaker at Howard Theater? No. Go ahead, Jamal. Will.
Crab, get in here.
Okay, so you said, okay, so who should it be his last appointment? And I don't have a problem with anything that anybody has said, but I still say it should be a younger guy to get the rub, to have, the show is going to be 2 hours, and I think 30 of that is going to go to the match, and 15 of that is going to go to whatever the post match is and whatever your pre-match is. So the last hour of the show will be dedicated to whatever that is, whatever the match is. How do you not screw this up? Have everything run on time. If you know that your post-match segment is you can't roll credits to the post-match segment. You can't. I don't care if you have to end on NBC and then
they're running it on Peacock. So no NBC.
Only on Peacock?
Yes, Peacock exclusive.
Yeah,
Unless
this
something
isn't PLE. Yeah,
it's a college football.
Okay,
so that helps. So it can go longer than 2 hours.
But yeah, whatever it is, you have to just let the show run its course, and if that means it goes over its time, then it goes over its time. But it has to be whatever it is. You have to let it see it through. Who should it be? I've said Carmelo Hayes. I've said that. That was the first thing I said. I still think that now that he has the belt, it would be a good look. Trick Williams is now in the conversation. I think that there's been plenty of time for Gunther. There's been plenty of time for the This Is Your Life yearbook of John Cena, his greatest opponents. And they've done a lot of those. I don't think there's really too much more left that they could do. AJ Styles, maybe, if you had to pick an older guy to see that last.
They already got the match.
Really?
That Crown Jewel. AJ and Cena Crown Jewel.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one.
So we're doing now. They could run it back. You never know.
Yeah, they could. So that they've kind of run out of a lot of things to do. And if it's nothing they're going to build to, then why not give it to a younger guy? I would be biased if I said Ricky Saints, but I still think that he doesn't need it because whoever he is, and it's much like Ethan Page or Sean Spears, he's already established. I think that there are guys that could absolutely use the rub that would pull a great match out of Cena, whether you know him or not. The point is you will know him now. And that's why I still think, I'm going to say Carmelo Hayes officially, but, barring any injury or any unforeseen foolishness like that. But Trick Williams would be a good look also.
Let me ask you, does it have to be a singles match?
Yes.
Will?
I have a thought on that, but we'll hold off till I get to me.
No, go ahead. It's your go anyway. So what do you think?
All right. So we've done. AJ's been done. About to be done. We've done Brock Lesnar. Lesnar beat him, so it was all immediately talk that okay, maybe they run back Lesnar and Cena gets his win back.
That has been a big talk right there. That makes the payoff for that.
Right. We've heard the talk of Edge. We've heard all that, and they've already done throughout the years. We've talked about kind of the greatest hits of your Randy Orton and all that, throughout the course of the year. Mm-hmm. We've done the open challenge thing. He's known for the open challenge. What if you did an added twist on the open challenge, and it was John Cena's open challenge gauntlet? And you do kind of a mini greatest hits of maybe 4, 5, 6 people.
And he's gonna bury them all.
The Miz needs to be in there. That's all I know. We
get
need
the whole Nexus.
The Miz. You have Orton come out again so they can do something with the RKO. You bring, hell, even if you want to, if you get Undertaker just to take a bump or two, you can have Taker out there, eat one move, and that's, you kind of, I don't know. It was different. That way you can kind of get a lot more people involved with it, but also, I don't know, but you could also kind of do something like that. You could have it be a singles match and then do something like that after it where people come out, get involved or something, and you have like a post-match thing. But I don't know. Open challenge gauntlet where you could get a mix of people out there for the fun. I'm just trying to think, something outside the box, because I think, I don't know. The trick with one person is how do you avoid it being a disappointment, I think is the thing.
And I think that the way how Cena matches works are false finishes. Like you have to have that, which is why Cody is like easily one of the best opponents for him, because that's sort of his repertoire as well too. So you have to have somebody, you're going to have a bunch of false finishes. You have to have somebody that's going to have an explosive entrance. You're going to have shock value to it. And you have to also, and I hate to say it, but you kind of have to pander towards the internet wrestling community, the IWC. You have to have somebody that somebody can say, I knew it was him. I heard it was him. I heard the rumors. It's him. Right. So again, Edge just keeps feeling more and more like the right person. In the other way, I kind of think about surprises that work and that got over really well. You kind of go back to when Keith Lee was in the Rumble and how he worked everybody. And could it be somebody organically like that could come in, like you heard of him, you know what he can do, but now you're actually seeing it on the biggest station. That's where I keep thinking over Femi. So I'm like, it kind of works. The music pop, does he go over? Yes, no, maybe. But the only issue I worry about with that is because if the price tags are what the price tag is, this is clearly directed to the OGs, the major outlets, the rich and the famous. This
all
is
the green shirts
drawn to. Yes, the you can imagine all of the Washingtonian folks and whatnot, the folks down Capitol Hill that hadn't heard of this John Cena guy, and you get an opportunity to go see his last match in the suite that y'all got, then they're gonna do it. So who is a name that sort of resonates with that? Randy Orton, again, because his lineage, his everything about Randy Orton, everybody knows about. So if I firmly had to book this as a business person, is either Edge or Randy Orton, and that's how it gets done. Randy Orton is the one he keeps avoiding. They haven't had that. We all know it's there. Edge is the one that's kind of coming through the door. That makes sense. That we know is there. Guess it's just going to be time to see what they're going to do.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because considering the rumor is that the cheapest ticket prices to get in the door is going to be $250.
Yeah,
and
bloody nose.
Right. So I'll see y'all up in section 408, but
508.
No, actually, we just going to let's just rent gallery
tailgate in the parking lot.
Yeah, seats in the movie theaters.
There is no parking lot. It's just a bunch of steps across the street where the homeless people sit.
Yeah,
on the steps of the porch.
Remember that McDonald's where it's like those steps over there. That's where your seats are.
So if they're charging $250 to get in, and I realized that even though the match that I would want to see, but I'm thinking wrestling first. WWE, no. Actually, TKO is trying to make money. They are trying to embezzle money, basically, because this is not just we're going to trade you something that you want for a boatload of money. No, they're selling you on the idea that you need to be there, which is why we're talking about it now, a month and change out from the event. 2 weeks out before the tickets even go on sale, before the pre-show start, the pre-sales start pre-selling, is because this is a once-in-a-lifetime event for John Cena. This doesn't feel like Ric Flair. This doesn't feel like Shawn Michaels. This doesn't feel like Bret Hart, where you don't know when the last match is going to be and what that's going to look like. They have been building this since January, and we are here now. And for $250 to get in the door for $250, it's either The Rock or Triple H.
I was about to say The Rock. I was just thinking about it.
Forgot about Dwayne. No one said Dwayne.
And we need answers, as they say. Do we need answers? I don't care. But
I don't. Yeah, we don't care.
But
that's the thing. If from just a selling standpoint to justify such an exorbitant price tag, yeah, sure. The rumors of the TKO going straight Scrooge McDuck status notwithstanding, as much as we would, as a wrestling fan with the history of the context behind it, would love to see Edge, or hell, even Christian, really, would love to see a younger guy that can absolutely deserve the rub. That's not a marquee name. Like Obafemi, as good as he is, as good as you think he could be, is that somebody that you're going to spend at least $300 on? Because it's $250 to get in the door, plus tax. Plus, Ticketmaster got to get a little taste.
It's going to be $3 bills.
It's going to be $300. Yeah. Is that the match that's selling you for $300? Is Obafemi versus John Cena in his last match ever? I don't think that's that match.
You put it like that. Good point. But
for $300, they get and of course, if it's The Rock, if it's Lesnar, if it's whatever, if there is a stipulation, if it's Orton or whoever it is, it's got to be that guy. And since we're talking about people or the unexpected happening, we saw Triple H leave his boots in the ring, but he never really had a retirement match.
Mm-hmm.
We saw The Rock start and stop.
I don't think Triple H healthy enough to get in the ring, to be honest.
That pacemaker, I don't think.
But also, too, if he started training, everybody would know. That's one of those like, uh-oh.
Cupcake says Dwayne is too Hollywood for a match now.
And I don't know. He might not even be in wrestling shape because his body
he's all shrunk down now. People were freaking out about his appearance. Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight for role.
Yeah, but they shot the movie a year and a half ago. So like, you know.
But I think he's filming something now, if I'm not mistaken. But
those pictures.
I'm not saying that I want to see it, but I'm just saying for $300, it would have to be somebody like that.
Yeah,
that would make you consider going down to Capital One, and more importantly, leaving Capital One at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Don't worry about us. You talking about people that's flying in to DC for this?
Oh, they're gonna get got too. Don't think they're not.
So hold on. So because I know we got a lot to talk about. So let's just ask one quick question: is the undercard important to any extent? Do you care who's on that undercard?
Has the undercard ever been important for any of these types of shows?
Sometimes you definitely. I mean, and let's not forget, because we always love and want to ensure that there's a good women's match on an undercard to some extent. So, but does there need to be anything of any quality on that undercard?
This match is sold on one thing: John Cena.
So
that's this. That's
all obviously working that undercard is still something somebody gets to put on their resume.
Yeah.
So is there I wonder if there's anybody's that they're kind of lining up saying, we want you to be part of John Cena's last match card. It's a big thing to always be able to say you was.
I mean, I would agree if it were a pay-per-view or something like that. This is still just a TV show.
It's a PLE. Saturday night's main event's a PLE because it's on Peacock. So it's definitely a PLE because that's the only thing they have the rights to for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it.
Wouldn't it have been on ESPN if it's a PLE?
Yeah, I'm not buying it because it used to be on NBC.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I
mean, it used to be on NBC, so they gave it away for free, and then they moved to the Peacock for whatever reason because maybe they don't have the rights to NBC anymore. The shit is weird, and then ESPN's throwing a hat in the ring. But still, we know that this shouldn't just be Saturday night's main event. We were a month ago saying, why isn't this in Boston? Why isn't this a pay-per-view dedicated to John Cena? Yeah. Now, we know the Boston show is going to happen November 10th, and then his last match is going to be a month later, downtown. But realistically, are they selling the match short by not making it an actual event, a one-off throwaway pay-per-view title like Capital Punishment or something like that? Speaking of DC. But yes, if they're going to do it, they absolutely could have given him his own show for one night only, one night stand, part 3 or whatever the shit is.
You know what? Just put Ric Flair in the ring. Just put him in the ring. Hell with that. He said he got one more. Put Nate in the ring. Damn it.
You know he'd do
I'd
it.
rather see Little Nate.
He'd be on a jet there immediately. Flair would be like, sure thing. No problem.
And next thing you know, we got witness a body in the ring. It'll be one of the best nights gone.
I'll never forget it.
The last time really is now.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is the ghost of Ric Flair haunted the Capital One Arena during the Capital game.
Stole the show.
Yeah.
Oh no.
In pure
All
Nature
right.
Boy style, too.
Real quick, something that none of us said that I know Boss Man brought up a couple weeks, maybe last week as a potential. Dominic Mysterio. Because one, the IC title is the only belt I believe Cena's never won. And if he's going out on top, that would make him a Grand Slam champion.
If you do the gauntlet idea, you absolutely have Dom Mysterio in the lineup. That'd be a
You
great
haven't
moment.
be the last one.
That's the thing. You do the gauntlet idea. You can put someone like a Dominic Mysterio in there because he's just one piece of the puzzle, and you do it for the pop and the hilarity of it.
Let me ask you, Will, and then we can move. Is this truly John Cena's last match?
Oh, wow.
I think compared to a lot of other wrestling retirements, yes, because he has other stuff to do. He's got Hollywood calling, and he built this up for a whole damn year. It's not just, I know where this is my last match. Cena strikes me as he's going to stand by it. I think he will. And Lord knows we've seen this year. It's been a kind of a bumpy road for him this year, so I think he's ready to hang it up and be like, yeah, this is it. I'm going full Hollywood, and we'll probably see him looking like, like Batista and Rock soon, where he's not carrying around so much muscle and all that. So I think so. I think Cena sticks with it.
Okay.
That's my guess. All right. Let's do this. It's a little before halftime, so hell, let's get the halftime break out of the way now. So when we come back, we can get into NXT No Mercy, NXT TNA having their showdown and all that good stuff. So that's how we'll do it. We'll get our mid-show break out of the way now. So stay with us, folks. Your Big Gold Belt Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back right after this.
Looking to get your brand in front of people who eat, sleep, and breathe entertainment? Big Gold Belt Media is the place to be. We're all about reporting on movies, TV shows, conventions, and everything in between. And we want your brand to be a part of the action. Partnering with us means your sponsorships get featured right in the midst of our content. Plus, we're going to hype you up on all of our social media, connecting you with an audience that loves discovering new things from trusted voices in entertainment. We're easy to find. Just look for us on Big Gold Belt on all your social media platforms. Don't wait. Reach out today and let's start building something amazing together. Your spotlight is waiting here at Big Gold Belt Media, biggoldbelt.com.
Thanks for being with us here tonight, folks, on the Big Gold Belt Wrestling Podcast, streaming live each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. As we get into our second half now, we're going to shift gears to last weekend's NXT No Mercy show and look ahead to next Tuesday, where we'll have the NXT and TNA showdown. So kind of an NXT segment going on here. But first up, last Saturday, NXT No Mercy went. Where was that show at? No Mercy was at Fort Lauderdale. That's where they did that show at, down in Florida. So kind of in their regular stomping grounds. They weren't like anyway super far away from the Performance Center, but still within the state. And big story coming out of this show. We talked about this last week if we thought it would happen or not. And most of us were on the page of it was time. Let's have it happen. Let's make the move. Ricky Saints is your new NXT champion, having defeated Obafemi. And in our group chat, Lord knows what our big surprise, we were like, he just beat him. There was no, we were talking last week about, interference. We were talking about TNA getting involved. We were talking about like the whole roster having to come out to take out the monster Obafemi. And none of that. Ricky Saints just beat him. Bunch of DDTs, took the man down. So, Damian, I'll go to you first. How are we feeling about Ricky Saints as champ in the manner that it happened?
I hate both. Like I said last week on the program, I didn't want him to win. I know I'm in the minority that didn't think he either needed the title or was ready to carry the title. So I didn't like it. And especially, like you said, well, the way it went down with the multiple DDTs, I know he probably couldn't get him up for the Rochambeau, but man, that just looked lame to me watching it at home. And I almost jumped in our group chat, cussing up a storm because I hated it all around. Y'all know I wanted Oba just to go up to the main roster and relinquish the title, like given the Oscar treatment. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. And WWE now has hitched their wagon to Ricky Saints. I don't like it, but hey, I'm in the minority.
All right, you were on the flip side of this too, James. So Ricky Saints is the champ now. Are we feeling how they did it?
Clean is crazy. I mean, great for him. So let's talk about that. It happened clean and good for him. But it was always the question of what does that mean for Oba? Well, I guess if Oba's not there, then I guess it doesn't matter because it gets a clean reset, reboot, relaunch back on the main roster. So now the inevitableness of him going to the main roster is there. So I don't necessarily like it because I felt it was anticlimactic for somebody who's been so dominant. Beyond him being dominant in NXT, I think also too he's one of their first real sample cases of the NIL program, and for to kind of see how they were treated brought in, how everybody was treated being brought in, great. And it's not to say how he's being treated sent out, but like considering like he really sets the bar, I guess I just wanted a little bit more. Now granted, there's probably something backstage party and all that other good stuff, but I still think on television, if he was truly the ruler, the conqueror, whether he was considered the villain or the good guy, I guess, perspectives and whatnot, it still should have went out in a more of a climactic way. I'm always going to make comparisons to him and Thanos because he also kind of makes comparisons to Thanos. But like, imagine that Thanos just went out because, he just got his head cut off by Thor and that was just it. You were just like, well, okay, I guess balance is the balance is restored in the universe now. But no, I had to go out in a way. You had the Tony Stark moment in order to have the Thanos moment, which just made it probably one of the best endings in any superhero movie of any time, And I think, as Damian said, the finish just didn't felt like it was, and while it was multiples, it still didn't feel like it was like the proper treatment, the proper due diligence for somebody who's been so dominant. He probably should have got a little bit more of the treatment like how Roman is treated when he got beat, where you like, and it was plenty of times in the Roman and Cody match. You're like, no one's stopping Roman. But eventually when it happened. You was like, all right, because after a billion of these Cody cutters and crossroads, like how much more can this man take? But 2 DDTs, well, I'll just say like 3 total, I think, from the match, or at least 5 attempts. Yeah. I wasn't digging it for him. So good for Ricky. I think going forward, and I think he cut a hell of a promo going forward for what's going to happen with the NXT TNA stuff. I think as the leader, I'm cool with that. But yeah. Also, did anybody, I know we're going to talk about it in a second, but the first thing I thought was like, how do you not pick Oba on your team? It's literally the first thing I thought about. Like when you're picking teams.
Oh, right, for the showdown.
Yeah. So again, even with that, even going into that, you start thinking like, maybe he deserved a little bit more, a little better. I mean, even if he had said like, I'm not being on your team, like after this defeat, I'm done or whatever. Like even that would have felt a little bit more like of a devastation of him losing instead of him like, all right, guess he's gone. I guess that never happened. So didn't like it. Didn't like the finish, but happy for Ricky going forward to see how he leads NXT to prove Damian wrong.
Crab, you were shaking your head, so I gotta hear what you guys say about this.
So short answer is Thanos brewing a cup of sleepy time tea after a hard day's work is the greatest ending of all time, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's number one. Number two, I understand the finish, and yes, in the moment it was a bit anticlimactic, and especially coming off the backs of talks of believability in wrestling and how much that plays a part into a thing, and that is kind of leads to a different discussion as to like, well, Ricky Stark shouldn't have never beaten Obafemi ever in a million years. There isn't a multiverse in existence where he should just beat him clean. But then again, if he doesn't, what does that say about Starks? I think he kind of has to do that to become champion, which obviously builds him up a lot more. Oba is Oba, and even it's not about individual matches, isn't about what happens over the span of a year. It's about what happens between 1, 2, and 3. So at that moment, at that time, the name of the game is pinned down 1, 2, 3. That's what it is. It's not about anything else but that. And that's all you got to do. Whether the match is an hour or the match is 5 minutes or the match is less. If it's on WWE speed, it ends in 3 seconds. And I think that that's something lost in wrestling when it comes to like the expectations of what this is. And well, it's David versus Goliath. And how could we do this? And we've seen this story before. It's not like the premise is anything new, but it's just that if Ricky Saints does something, or if this, the giant Skama's finish with everybody running in and doing something, I think that takes away from Saints as champion. And I think that kind of has to happen that way. Not that he couldn't have done it, or not that you have to suspend disbelief or whatever, but he is a babyface champion. And he's not a babyface champion that has to, use, something else, some outside force. This is Hajime no Ippo, or this is, every single, underdog story that we've ever seen. Your Mighty Mac versus Mike Tyson. And damn it, he's going to win. Well, he's going to get his ass whooped first, but he's going to pull out in the end. And I think that instead of that, the cynical wrestling fan or the internet goes, ain't no damn way.
Right.
He's 5'2", 170 pounds. Okay, Ricky Starks isn't Rio. So stop that. So stop saying that. That's number one. Number two, it's okay. Yeah, he probably couldn't get him up for the Rochambeau, had to improvise with the finish. But I think if that's they picked the safest way, the safest transition possible.
So safe.
And I don't necessarily mind that, because it doesn't hurt Oba to lose, because if he's this big and bad, then get it back. It obviously doesn't help Ricky to win by other than clean. So they picked the safest route. It is what it is. I'm not mad at it.
All right. Shoot, looking at our clock, let's get to the damn showdown. And how this will kind of play into Ricky Saints and what's next with him and all this. So next Tuesday, this is going to be an interesting one. Regular episode of NXT TV. This is not a special. This is not on the Peacock. This is not a takeover or anything like that. It's just NXT next Tuesday on the CW is going to be Showdown NXT versus TNA, headlined by 2 Survivor Series matches between Team NXT and Team TNA. So to quickly run this down, on the men's side, we're going to have Team NXT, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. On the TNA side, it's going to be Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. I like those teams. I like those teams a lot. The women's side is a bit more murky here. I'll quickly run down the women's side.
Let's have some fun here. Which team do you think is better on paper right now?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Man, Javon and Miles are both pretty hot right now. But Mike Santana and Leon Slater, I'd say the same thing for.
I'm leaning on TNA men's team.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards TNA as well, too. What a time to be alive.
I like that they threw Frankie Kazarian in there. It's
Me
like
too. Me
yes,
too. I definitely popped on that. Yep.
All right. So the women's one, this is much more of a, I don't know, shaking my head at the women's lineup here. So Team NXT, JC Jane, women's champion, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice is the NXT women's team.
Okay.
The TNA women's team.
I love it. I love it.
The new women's champion, Kalani Jordan.
Yeah.
Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee, maybe known as the Iconics, depending where you're at. And Mara Sade. also known as show favorite Jakara Jackson. Someone who's
listen, she sleeper alert. Sleeper alert. That's all I got. All eyes will be on her. I can't wait. I love it.
Okay.
Petty team galore right here.
So how do you think that? How do we think this plays out? They're doing I like that they're doing the Survivor Series gimmick. So these matches are going to get time, but I don't know. How do you think they do this? Is TNA gonna? There's not titles involved in these matches.
I'll say this. So first and foremost, them changing the name from Invasion to Showdown. I thought that was, regardless how you feel about it, because we now, there's been conversations and whatnot about like how politics are now coming into something that is entertainment. But hey, whatever side you own it with that, for them to be able to pivot in the rate that they did, hats off to them. I don't feel like the spark has been lost, even though the notoriety of Invasion isn't there. And I do feel like this provides hella fan service for us. Because the Survivor Series gimmick is exactly how you need to be done. The graphics are cool. Both of the social media teams are working overtime for this. I'm ready to go. I'm super excited for this. And for it to just be on TV on the CW, I mean, man, we haven't had this much fun on the CW since what's it called? The Arrowverse.
Oh wow.
What's the gimmick called?
All the DC crossovers.
Yeah. What's that storyline called? Huh?
Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Crisis on Infinite Earth. Thank you. So yeah, and that's what it kind of feels like, to be honest. But listen, I don't think it matters who wins. I don't think it matters what team wins. It would be nice if TNA wins so that people don't feel like WWE is just taking advantage of them. But either way, I think it's going to be just a great display of talent on both shows, and the synergy continues to be there. And you just got names that you may or may not know, faces returning that you may or may not know. Everybody's getting the opportunity to shine. So right now, the winner is the fans and both brands. There is no losers involved here. Looking forward to it next week.
Jamal, in our group chat, you were talking about this should have been bigger. Should be more than just a show on the CW.
Right. Why isn't this bigger? This is, for it to be the Invasion, for it to be the Showdown, for it to be a regular TV show, because their next show is Halloween Havoc. Okay, fine. I didn't even realize that it was Halloween Havoc, because I'm thinking this should be the day before Survivor Series. Right. Wherever that is, run the show in the arena that weekend. Why isn't this a part of that whole thing?
Are they worried about because it takes away from Survivor Series?
How would that be any different than any other NXT pay-per-view that they've run the day before a major show?
Because, I mean, if you went to the Royal Rumble to see the Royal Rumble, you don't want to see many Royal Rumble before.
How many Royal Rumbles have we been to where we went? How many SummerSlams did we skip?
No, I get the show being before, but the same gimmick of a match the night before is a little different. I mean, hell, people even get fatigued from the two Royal Rumbles after one is clearly better than the other every single year. So to actually have to do a women's Survivor Series match for NXT, a men's Survivor Series match for NXT, then the next day you get two of the main roster ones. I think you just get tired of it after a while. I'm not mad at I'm not mad at it being spaced. Just my.
I mean, I would agree with that, except for the fact that TKO is leaving money on the table, and we know that's something they say they ain't going to do. So for it to be,
Cena disappeared the whole year. Cena in Saudi Arabia.
Well, it's true, but obviously it should be bigger, but that was also by the same token, the Cena match should be bigger. It shouldn't just be Saturday night's main event. It should be his own literal pay-per-view. That's a different conversation that we had earlier. I still think that this absolutely should be bigger. And if you're saying that, well, it's Survivor Series fatigue, well, it only comes around once a year. And instead of having one event in one show, you have a weekend of it. I find it hard to believe that wrestling fans traveling for the event that they want to see would have an opportunity to see more of that thing and go, I'm good. I just don't need it. I know.
You're crazy. You know they would. You know that 2 nights WrestleMania, people would be burnt out.
People choose to glutton themselves on wrestling. People choose.
Lord knows we see that every
everything.
day online.
Yeah, on everything. People choose to do that. I'm just saying that for those that can do it smartly, why not do it smartly?
Hell, Tony Khan, book a 12-hour show. Get it done.
Oh God, no.
Don't give that man ideas.
Please don't.
I mean, well, look, we've already pontificated about the 36-hour WrestleMania Spectacular next year. So, 4 time zones, 36 hours of wrestling, get it done. TKO is not leaving any crumbs on the table.
You know what? You just had me thinking. We actually should be very thankful that this match isn't even happening in Saudi Arabia, because I'm sure His Excellency was willing to give a blank check to have John Cena retire in Saudi Arabia.
Oh Lord.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, we said that why wouldn't it be? We thought that it was going to be there. We thought that it was going to be a special show that the Saudis were going to just buy and say, nah, we got bring it home, bring it on home to Riyadh. Bring it on home to the Mecca of wrestling.
Cupcake said it earlier. He will go to
He'll
Saudi.
go to Saudi.
He may not wrestle in Saudi, but he'll go to Saudi and wave and shake the prince's hand and all that kind of stuff and do the "you can't see me." Cena absolutely will do that.
Oh no. Okay, I was thinking that Stephanie McMahon was going to the Hall of Fame in Saudi Arabia. No, it's next year in Vegas.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank God. Okay, good.
The innovator of the women's revolution will be stateside.
Which would be the most ironic thing ever, to have the innovator of the women's revolution be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Saudi Arabia. That'd be hilarious. But with that said, though, I feel that this absolutely should be a bigger show. This is something that WWE should be promoting amongst all their platforms, not just on NXT itself. And as far as does it matter who wins? TNA has to win. Like period. They have
Both
to,
or just one.
No,
Did they split it?
They can split the Survivor Series styles matches, but if the Hardys walk away with the belts, if Mustafa Ali walks away with the North American Championship,
that would be a story.
That's a good look for TNA. I think
that's the move. I think that'd be the move. Make the Hardys double tag champs and Mustafa Ali North American champ. Hell yeah, absolutely. Then you can do whatever with the Survivor Series matches.
Exactly, because that's kind of why Survivor Series fell off a bit.
When you think about it too, the Hardys are double champs. Then they go and face the Dudley Boys for the TNA. Then if the Dudley Boys win, because the Dudley Boys need to win that, they both still stay champs. Do you have two of the best tag teams in the world as champions? It's kind of crazy time in 2026, man.
Combined age of 160.
Oh, I just thought about that. That actually negates the whole Dudley Boy thing, because the Dudley Boys need to win in order to be the same amount of many champion reigns as the Hardys. But if the Hardys win, then they just go up one more.
Right.
So they technically either have to lose, or if they win both, is that considered two different wins? No, right?
It's two more titles. I don't know.
Crab,
make us do math here now.
Oh.
So what Crab was saying about really quick about it not being a bigger deal, do we believe potentially that this is a petty reason as to why this isn't bigger, because they don't want to give TNA a bigger platform?
Ooh, jeez.
Well, I mean, but to that point though, why extend it this long? Why continue this thing? This thing could have been over 3 months ago.
Or is this just the start? You know,
because it's relegated.
War games still exist.
Yeah.
No, like we can agree that this is the start of a generational thing going on between the two, and that's not a problem. It's just that at some point, and we've asked this question before in a very recent past, when does it end?
Right.
When is the forbidden door close? When does everybody go back to their corners? Who gets locked in the multiverse? Who gets on the other side? We don't know what that looks like now, because every time we think they're going to kind of like settle the tide, they ramp it up with the Showdown. So that is kind of an interesting thing as well. I just think that after this whole invasion blows over, for whatever it looks like. Having it happen on the CW, no matter where it happens, it's a win for TNA because it's happening on TV that people will watch.
Yeah, it's big publicity for them.
Right. So that's not even the issue. The issue is it should be bigger than that if it's supposed to mean something.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, too, to be fair, TNA folks gotta get used to WWE TV and live TV. So let's ease through the getting on the freeway. These new drivers out there. So I'm not mad at it. And let's stop putting an expiration date on when this ends. Let's just keep letting it rock. It's been healthy. It's been organic. They're getting live TV, which eases the bleeding of them needing to have a TV deal right now. Talent are working both. Everybody's looking good on both sides. People are getting, accolades from getting championships on both ends. I mean, you get cross promotion storytelling. I mean, the Mustafa Ali thing that I didn't think about at all, but somebody did, that he finally gets to get his shot at the championship that he didn't get because he was released.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think the morale gets boosted. The storytelling's there. The investment's in there. I think there's so many more of those that's going to be there. I mean, hell, even the way when they looked at Jordan and Joe Hendry, they was like, we don't know who you really are loyal to, considering that you just got here and you've been there. So we can't pick you. And they like, hey, we got to get involved some way. What does that some way look like? Because they still got that up their sleeve too. So it's good. It's good. And hell, once worlds collide, the AAA folks, I'm sure they're going to be hop skipping all over as well too. So good for them. And then anybody cares, Tessa,
you see what's happened now? You actually booked something of substance to a thing that leads to the Tuesday show.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Worlds
Collides on YouTube, but we're not. I mean, it's there. I like the fact that we don't have to have any more subscriptions now to watch it. So
no.
I'm not gonna complain about that because the ESPN Plus, the Peacock increase, the Paramount Plus Premium that's coming. Like hell, man! Every Game Pass on Xboxes went up. I'm broke.
All right, let's keep it moving and get to our final thing here. Since this is something. So, 6th anniversary of AEW Dynamite last night. Kind of a touchstone. Because my God, 3 of us were at the very first episode of Dynamite here in DC. To think that was 6 years ago is just like, wow. But here we are, 6 years later, and the big story coming out of last night is Andrade returns to AEW on the 6th anniversary. And I think I saw earlier today, this makes him the first person that has gone from WWE to AEW, back to WWE, and to AEW again. So he's done like the whole ping pong thing twice in both places. So yeah, and I guess we should kind of, delicately say here that he is going to AEW with definitely under some interesting circumstances as far as like how he departed WWE. Since he was not released, sounds like pretty much he was fired. And it sounds like there were some wellness violations issues going on there. So definitely not a clean break there, so to speak.
That I think is probably the conversation for us to kind of dive more into next week, because for him to be accepted back so quickly and put instantly on TV tells you it couldn't have been bad business. There couldn't have been a wellness issue. There couldn't have been anything that would have been hesitation in bringing him back and instantly using him, which either means that AEW did their due diligence and got to the bottom of the story, or it just was him getting out of his contract and going over. I think we should, on a positive note, praise the AEW if they did their due diligence and cleared them that fast to be able to use them in the way that they did instantly. And good for Andrade for not burning the bridge to be able to have a home to go back to. So I think, and also kudos to Tony Khan, because he wasn't butthurt to say you left me and you went to them. Now you're coming back. So I think it's good for the business because it now does truly show that there are options available, because while there is obviously rivalry between the two and tribalism behind it, wherever there's a slot for you to go to work, as long as you're clean to go, you can go. Now I'd be interested to see if WWE will also allow a ping pong in this current era back. But as we see now, it looks like it is safe to go there for AEW. So that's all I got from it. And I swear to God, anytime Kenny Omega does his closing speech, the lights always cuts out.
The shoe's about to drop. Something about to happen.
Every time. Yeah, Kenny Omega is like the Marvel of wrestling. Like, as soon as he's there, you're like, oh, post credit scene. Here we go. So somebody's coming out.
Damien, get in here.
Not to borrow a line from Crab, but here's why I don't care.
Just a little bit again.
I have long been off the AEW bandwagon. I did watch here and there last night, and to me, it seemed as if even though the announcers and TV were trying to make it into a big deal, I felt like this 5-year anniversary was kind of just there. And like you said, if we're talking about Andrade as the biggest story out of it, that's sad because they were supposed to be the anti-WWE. They were supposed to be the alternative to WWE. And what's the talking point? Oh, a former WWE talent came back to AEW. Yay. So for me personally, again, as I watch bits and pieces, I will be fair and say that nothing about the show that I saw run down made it must-see TV. So again, to also quote Crab, why wasn't this a bigger deal?
Here's why it's not. And I agree with this is going to be the problem with AEW for as long as they continue to exist in America. They will always be in the shadow of WWE. And because of the wrestling business and the nature of the business, it will always be former WWE this or that. Nobody ever says any other company that person's ever worked for. Nobody says ex-CMLL, ex-AAA, ex-Rev Pro, ex-New Japan. No. Nobody ever says that. It's always ex-WWE person. So there's that. As far as the ability to go and come back and go and come back and whatever, people have been doing that since the end of time too. It's just that it's Andrade. We didn't really care when he left. We didn't care. He didn't do anything spectacular in WWE. I don't care that he's back. Yeah,
that was the big thing that jumped out at me. Is the big thing I remember when he left and came back to WWE was folks on the AEW side being like, "Good riddance, we don't need you." So it was kind of like an announcement. Oh, now he's back. Yeah, our boy's back. And it's like I very much remember a lot of you folks being like, "Oh, he wasn't willing to do business. He wasn't willing to put people over. So good riddance. Get out of here." So. Yeah. It makes me wonder how quick that might become the vibe again. You know,
as an AEW fan, if they had Rusev pop out of a birthday cake, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, it's Rusev! Oh shit, it's Rusev!"
Right?
Okay, well, sure. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think that the biggest problem culturally with AEW is that they're so not WWE. Like. They just don't have the pomp and circumstance and the showmanship and the gravitas that WWE will have because they're not WWE. I mean, so they have to be a wrestling-focused show, a wrestling-first show, which works out great for me in general. And if they try to do something other than that, they're going to be lumped into WWE category. If they spend $1 billion on the set design, or they're just trying to compete with Raw and SmackDown. If they added LED this and lasers and more pyro and stuff like that, they're just trying to outdo what Cody's been doing. Or whatever the thing is. So you have to find this balance between North American style presentation and indies level of wrestling plus. Because nobody ever says, hey, you know what? TNA just did this thing that was really cool. And NXT did a similar thing about a year later. Nobody ever says that. But when AEW does it, it's always like, damn them, snake oil salesman for a bite in WWE. And the unfortunate bit of business is that that's kind of the position that they've had. It's like a definite number two. For whatever number two means to you, they're just a definite number two. And unfortunately, in order to be number one, you're going to have to get the Men in Black neuralizer and erase everybody's WWE memory out. So it's unfortunate, and it is what it is. And other than John Cena showing up for his last match versus Edge at a pay-per-view, there really aren't too many things that they can do that WWE is. They're kind of like the Simpsons. Like, I don't care who comes along. Family Guy, South Park, Simpsons did it, which was an episode. It's kind of like you just kind of accept that and move on and get counter programmed against. Yeah.
Well, it kind of is what it is. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Andrade here. What kind of how this shakes out. It's week 1. Within a month, I think we'll kind of have an idea of what's up with Andrade on this run. To James, you saw something earlier today that regarding Javon Evans, where Javon Evans stands in the pecking order as far as like he's not a champ yet, and some people not being happy about that. And
hey, listen, this is all I'm gonna say. And I don't know, Jamal obviously probably didn't see the report. So this is where this gets interesting. And it's very rare that I even dive into the Wrestler Observer Online and Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, right? But he said something that was so goddamn true, it's crazy. And the fact of the matter is, what he hates is that in professional wrestling, I was damn sure guilty of this because I said it the last show we were on, that wrestling is the only sport where young talent is held back their potential because of how much of a lifespan or career potential they have going forward. So the idea that Brian was basically saying he's frustrated seeing people get built up only to be knocked down constantly over and over and over, which is have been happening to Javon Evans. Like every single time he gets a match, you're like, oh, it's time to crown him. And they don't do it. Yeah. I would also argue that Lola Vice has been another one that they kind of been doing that with. And I'm sure there's a track record of these type of people down the line over and over and over because of the idea that they're young and they got time. We'll make them champion at some point. So the question I have to ask him really quickly is, do you agree that is a fair assessment that wrestling happens to be one of the only sports that has potential in young talent, but never decides to pull their trigger on them just because of the idea that they have so much of more of a career to go? Is that the right thing to do in this case? Or is there some type of method to the madness here?
But this is exactly what wrestling is in a sport. Because if it were a sport, you would put your best out there to win.
Exactly.
Like no matter who it is. Like it's just, for example, in a time of where racism, where it's like the de facto, cause in America, in Brooklyn, they said, nah, this brother can run. Put his ass out there. Yeah, but we've never done that before. No one's ever done. I don't give a fuck who it is. What's his name? Robinson? Yeah, tell that Robinson boy, put his ass at second base and let the motherfucker run. Because winning is more important than anything else in sports. Winning will get you money. Winning gets you fame. Winning will turn your hurricane-ravaged city into a shining beacon on the bayou. Winning literally trumps all. Except in wrestling, because wrestling doesn't do that. Because wrestling, as TKO, is about to let you know as I move money around in my Wells Fargo account and set up my new savings account that says John Cena's last match. It's not about winning. It's about ratings. It's about appeasing the Saudi prince. It's about shareholders. It's about everything else that the internet loves to bitch about than the wrestling. How many times do you have legitimate arguments about the actual wrestling? And wrestling is more connected than ever. We didn't grow up talking to talent as a kid. We had to call a 900 number. We had a paywall to call the kid to climb over to talk to Mean Gene and have him yell at us for 3.5 minutes. But now we can actually DM a talent from every single level of wrestling and go like, yo, what did you think of this move? But we don't do that. Yeah, we bitch about these nonsensical things about how the booking's wrong, or it should have been a bigger venue, or why Vegas matters, or why Saudi matters, or whatever, because that's what wrestling is, not a sport.
Okay.
Yeah. Good point. I mean, there's And wrestling, Lord knows we're here, but it's not their time yet. It's too soon. They need more seasoning, especially you'll hear that with the young talent. And in a lot of cases, yeah, that is the case. Maybe they need some more maturity or something. But sometimes you just got to take a young, fresh face and see. Let's see what the hell happens. Sink or swim. Put the title on them and see what the hell happens. We've talked about this plenty of times where it's like, throw it on there, give it a month. Maybe it works, and maybe you stick with it, and maybe it doesn't. And you can, that's a good, like we were saying, another good thing about wrestling, you can change course just like that. So if it doesn't work out, you know what? That's okay too. You can get out of it. You're not in a situation where, oh no, now no one can beat this guy. He's too damn good. I don't know. Sometimes you got to, I think.
Avoid booking for the internet, but definitely book like putting your best out there at all times.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Who gets to decide who's best? And that's the interesting thing about wrestling as you get older. As the teenage us, we're like, oh my God, this person is interested in the alluring and attractive for whatever their aesthetic reasons are in the ring because we're involved in the character. And then after watching wrestling 30 years later, we're like, I know how the spot's going to go. Hey, I've already booked the show in my mind. Mm-hmm. Okay, they did that thing. All right, okay, cool. I like that trick that they did. And now we're watching for all these other technical reasons. At what point do we stop watching wrestling for wrestling? So that's kind of the difference between the reason why I watch a show like AEW or the Japanese or Setup Pro in Thailand or wherever and watch a WWE show. Because WWE show is an entertainment company that sells wrestling in the same way that a McDonald's is a real estate company that sells burgers. That's the difference. And if you've seen The Founder, you know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is that the idea of holding back talent and stuff like that, that is the literal nature of the business.
And to be fair, in NXT specifically, we literally just had one of the longest reigning champions lose their title, who happens to be, like you said, part of the NIL crowd. Yeah. So a young wrestler.
Brand new face.
And then how many champions ago on the women's side, we had Rox, who was literally the two-time women's champion before dropping it to Julia. So there's precedent for pushing and rewarding the younger talent. I'm more curious, to Will's point, about these two specific talents. Why not Javon? Why not Lola? Because I brought it up last week. I thought Javon would have been the one to beat Oba just because the crowd loves him so much. But for whatever reason, they didn't go with it, just like with whatever reason, they didn't go with Lola. So much so, they had to have Lainey Reed be the reason why she didn't win. Another young face, allegedly, right? Until we saw Tuesday. But again, there's precedent. But at the same token, why not these two? And I'd never agree with Alvarez, but it's a good question.
Yeah. Something to keep an eye as we go throughout the rest of the year here. All right. Well, we went in overtime tonight. we definitely went a little. What?
I'm gonna say a name and you tell me what you think. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Chris Jericho.
Ugh.
I'm surprised no one mentioned him as a possibility.
God, I hope not.
I hope not. I don't need to see it. Hell, I saw Jericho and Cena in the Capital One Arena at SummerSlam 2005. So I've seen that match in that building when they were much younger. So I don't need to see it run
Put
back.
him on a card, though. Put him on a card.
20 years
later.
Put him
in the crowd. Put him in the crowd. Do an NXT thing.
Okay. There you go. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Lord knows people seem to think he's showing up soon. If not there, but maybe by the Rumble. But 2025, 2026 Jericho. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap things up here tonight. We got our extra supersized edition here tonight of your Big Gold Belt Wrestling Podcast. Folks, we are live each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming live here on X, on Twitch, on YouTube. Anywhere we can stream up live, that's where you can find us Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Afterwards, the feed lives on YouTube, whether you're looking for audio or video. We have the audio feed up there, plus the video feed if you came in late tonight on the YouTube channel. On social media, you can find us at Big Gold Belt across the board. So whether we're talking Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, X, you name it, at Big Gold Belt is where you can find us. And last but not least, on the web, BigGoldBelt.com, the home of Big Gold Belt Media, wrestling, movies, comics, and more. All right, we got the editor in chief here this week, and we talked about Smashing Machine last week. So I don't think we need to talk about Smashing Machine again. What else we got going on in entertainment this week?
Did I see anything this week?
Did you have a rare week where you didn't see something?
Yeah, I've been avoiding things, but Tron next weekend or next week,
Okay.
or probably next weekend too. So yeah, I'm seeing that. I've been skipping stuff. So
all right, well, let's get the other guys in here. Damien, Crab. What else we got?
I've been skipping also, so there's really nothing I can recommend right now. Gen V, go watch Gen V, y'all, and go to Big Gold Bell Media, our YouTube page, and go watch our review of the first 5 episodes of Gen V. Cheap plug.
If you haven't gotten your tickets for the Taylor Swift movie, good luck. That is absolutely happening this weekend. There's also a really interesting horror movie that I definitely will not see.
No. I finally tapped out. I heard it's really, really good, but anything with an animal, I'm out. I don't even care what happens.
But it's a dog though, so that's okay. Good Boy. It's a horror movie that is shown through the perspective of the family dog. So if you like dogs, or if you hate dogs, and you want to see what happens to this heathen, because I hate dogs, and that's actually the only reason why I'm kind of interested in it, to see if the ghosts actually get them. But yeah, that's the thing. All dogs go to heaven, my ass. There's another movie called Anemone, which looks very interesting, but I'm hearing mixed things about it. Okay, calm down. You said there was nothing else, and now you said it's bad. Calm down.
I've heard. I hear from my folks. I ain't seen it, but I heard it's bad. More than enough.
There's one other thing. If you've never seen the classic anime Perfect Blue, it's actually been remastered in 4K. That's out this weekend in theaters. If you've never seen it in theaters, it's absolutely worth doing. One of my top maybe 20 animes of all time. And then if you like the Avatar and can't wait until next month, 2 months, because it's December this year, they're re-releasing Avatar Way of the Water this weekend. And that's going to be in IMAX 3D. So the new one comes out later this year.
December,
so you're ready for the next one. 1 week only, they're doing that. So there you go.
All right. There we go, folks. Big Gold Belt Media, your home of all things entertainment, wrestling, movies, comics, and more. Like we said, you can check that out on all our stuff out on social media at Big Gold Belt, on the web, BigGoldBelt.com. Keep you informed about everything that's going on. So, folks, next Thursday night, we will be back 8 p.m. Eastern. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button, all that good stuff. And until next time, we will talk to you later.
All I really need, that